Dad said it like weather talk. Calm, casual, final. We're taking your office space. My fork stopped midair. I'm Lila Reyes, 26, a web developer and the family fixer. My corner of the garage, 2 monitors, a scarred table, a whiteboard of deadlines, was the only place in that house where I existed as myself. Across the table, my brother Nolan smirked over his soda. Mom nodded along. His channel is growing, she said. He needs room. Room. For his ring light and a few followers. I kept my voice steady because steadiness was my role. Sure, I'll clear it tomorrow. But something in me creased and stayed that way. 3 years of late nights out there, bugs hunted at 2 a.m. contracts, signed that paid for groceries, repairs, and the furnace visit Dad swore he'd reimburse. When Nolan failed another semester, they blamed his teachers. When I covered the transmission, Dad called me a blessing and forgot the number. I stared at my plate, breathing slow, feeling a quiet shift in gravity. They thought I'd argue. They thought I'd fold and move into the basement like a spare appliance. Instead, I noticed an exit. The next morning, I sat in my car with the engine off, hands cold around the steering wheel, and opened a rental app. Bay Area rent was brutal, but staying was its own kind of eviction. I scrolled until a listing in Oakland flashed up. A studio with a big window, old floors, and enough space for a desk and peace. First month, deposit, fees. My savings, $800. Not comfort, freedom. I emailed the landlord with my credit score and contracts. Her reply landed minutes later. Available today. Come see it. I started the car. The studio smelled like dust and lemon cleaner. Janet unlocked the door and let me walk in alone. Sunlight hit worn planks. The kitchen was tiny, the window generous. No shouting through walls. I'll take it, I said. Back home, I didn't announce anything. I started subtracting for once, calmly. Tuesday, I bought only milk and bread instead of the usual groceries. Mom lifted the small bag. That's all. Budgets are tight, I said, and kept moving. When the Wi-Fi hiccuped, I didn't reset it. When Dad cursed the printer, I didn't fix the jam. When my brother Nolan asked for a ride to Network, I sipped my coffee. Bus stop's right there. He stared like I'd spoken another language. The house ran on my invisible labor. Without it, everything sputtered, dishes piled, the trash overflowed. Dad's irritation searched for someone to blame. At night, I moved my life in quiet trips. Laptop, contracts, tool pouch, the notebook where I tracked every invoice and every family expense. Furnace, transmission, groceries. I even carried the jar of spare screws from my workbench because I'd built that bench myself, bolt by bolt with my own money. Friday afternoon, Dad stepped into the garage with a tape measure. Quick thing, he said. I sold your workbench. Guys, pick it up tomorrow. Nolan needs a real streaming desk. My throat tightened. You sold my bench. He didn't look guilty, just certain. You're moving to the basement anyway. Something in me went quiet. That night I booked a U-Haul for Saturday at dawn, then pulled my suitcase from under the bed and packed clothes instead of cables. Saturday came early. The U-Haul idled in the driveway. Dad blinked at it from the doorway. What is this? My move, I said, carrying a box marked Client Files. Mom hovered behind him. Nolan's ring light lay on the floor. You're overreacting, Dad said. We're family. You have the basement. Family isn't a lease, I said. And the basement isn't a gift. In the kitchen, I set one page on the table. 12 months of receipts, totals circled, rent, utilities, groceries, repairs, $24,800. Beneath it, Nolan's contributions, 0. Mom went pale. Dad reread the numbers. I'm not here to yell, I said. I'm here to stop financing this house. Utilities come off my name Monday. I canceled the internet yesterday. Nolan sputtered. My streams! Get a job, I said. Stream after. I shut the truck door and drove to my studio's quiet. 10 days later, Dad called. The furnace quit. It's freezing. We don't have money. What's the error code? I asked, pulling up the manual. Igniter, parts 95. Can you come fix it? I can, I said. Once, then we meet with bills and Nolan pays rent. Silence then. Deal. I replaced the igniter in an hour. Afterward, we spread the bills across the table and assigned chores and due dates. I left before anyone could ask for more, and the boundary held. 6 months on, the lawn stayed cut, Nolan worked evenings at a warehouse, and Dad slipped me cash monthly quietly. At dinner, the dishwasher groaned. Dad looked to Nolan, not me.